Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is someone who realized that they were living in a manufactured village when they watched The Village in 2004. Zanandi Boetes.
Well, yeah.
How did that
Accurate.
feel? You were like, you thought
That
you were in
that's
like the 1700s, and then you watched The Village.
right. Like I felt like for a day afterwards, I was just curtsying everyone. It was weird, very weird. They were looking at me all funny. I'm like, but isn't this what we have to do now? Curtsy, curtsy, y'all.
I love this movie so much. I don't care what anyone says, Zanandi. I,
Same. I don't either. I don't care. I don't
I,
care.
I've loved it for 20 years. I think it's great.
Yes, exactly.
They shot it in
It's so
45
good.
days. That's crazy.
And I
Yeah,
mean, even watching it today, 20 years later, it's still oh gosh, it hits the right marks. It makes you feel even more, maybe because I'm older now, I'm getting soft, Mark, getting soft in my old age. But I mean, I was crying. Like, oh, it was, yeah, it got me more emotional than the first time I watched this, even though, I mean, it got me then too. I love this movie. I liked it when it first came out. I still love watching it. It's got beautiful moments. Like people, I don't, if you don't like it, that's fine. But yeah, like I've seen some people say, but they all talk in passive voice. Yes, because they're pacified. They're a pacified people. Like
they're
literally,
playing a role.
there's reason for so much of the criticism that I've read of the movie. Again, you don't have to like it. It's really okay. But I feel like, yeah, I've got a lot of exhibit A's to present to you with some of those criticisms, folks. But I mean, yeah, that's how it's gonna go. I love the form, the style of it. I love like the allegory, the reveal. I thought the reveal was great. People didn't dig it. I did. I mean, it got to me where she meets the ranger and she's like, "There's kindness in your voice. I didn't expect it." I started to bawl. Like just that innocence and like it just also reminded me of people today. I mean, just kindness. I mean, like it kind of feels, yeah, not around every corner these days, you know? And like, yeah, people are horrible. And then you've got people who tell you that people are horrible when they're not horrible. And oh my gosh. I mean, the movie is very relevant. And I think it's one of those evergreen ones that really shows like, yeah, the lengths we humans will sometimes go to, the way we'll reason and create our own little logic, like in parenthesis, logic little worlds. I mean, yeah, and therein lies the horror. A lot of people also argue that it's not a horror movie. I mean, yeah, I guess I hate that argument in general,
It's like, but it's like generational trauma. Like these people escaped, and now they're
Yes,
lying to their kids. They're lying
because
to
they
their
don't want to
families,
lose them to violence, to societal violence. Yeah,
and then they
exactly.
lie to them and freak them out. And it's an interesting question. It really is. And I don't have a problem with people not liking this film if they understand the core concept of it and just don't think it
Yes.
works for them. Like Roger Deakins, he shot this and he thinks it's gorgeous, but he said that The Village, it needed a little bit more sense of reality. He was like, it was a little too stylized and a little bit too mannered. He's like, he said, I don't think the audience could quite connect with it as a real thing, as a real situation. But like the way he looked at it, that's a really interesting critique of the film. But my problems with it when they're like, it's not what the marketing promised. It's not a horror film. It's a dumb twist. The twist isn't important. It's about what these parents went through and then what they're putting their kids through. You can't escape it. Like they've basically walled themselves off. They live in their hurt and they've created this community based on a lie. So you don't need those monsters. Like the monsters are kind of what they created. So I think to be like, oh, no monster chopped off Joaquin Phoenix's head, that's kind of missing the point a little bit when you're looking at the characters, and just the overall theme of this movie was innocence, but like at what cost? And but like that's, you just got to look at it as a whole, not just there were no monsters or the twist was dumb. Like just absorb it, and then if you don't dig it, that's fine, but like don't just say it sucks or it's fake, or I don't know. I think this movie looks gorgeous. I think Bryce Dallas Howard is incredible. Joaquin
Oh,
Phoenix
my
is like,
best.
Like Sigourney Weaver's awesome. Like she looks great. Her costumer did a great job. She just looks like amazing.
Yes.
Like with the hurt of,
Yes.
sorry, pardon the pun, but like the hurt of William Hurt. It's like, the some of the funny moments. And like these kids are too afraid to go through the woods. And I guess if you're M. Night Shyamalan and you're gonna take these swings, if you swing only for home runs, you're gonna probably strike out or hit a home run. It's not for everybody. So I think he has to take that, he has to know that going into his films. But it just, I don't know. There's a really neat message in this film, and I kind of hate that it's ignored or disliked or not appreciated. So
Yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like, I mean, with the whole like these people are being they think they're being terrorized by these monsters that live in the woods. But at the end of the day, it's the elders that are terrorizing them. Like they're putting this fear, they're weaponizing this fear. And I mean, if you cannot like take that and like connect it to the real world where we live, then I don't know what to tell you. Then I feel like you maybe need to start looking around you more because I mean I don't know. It's funny how people can say like, yeah, it didn't feel, but okay, well, I guess I mean a lot of people don't like stylized films, but then yeah, okay, that's just a personal preference then. I mean, I don't know. I felt like Shyamalan did well with because I also didn't think he glorified any of it. Like the reveal itself was critical. Like not critical. What's the word? Like what do you call it? Like there was critique in it as well. Like he wasn't just saying, "Oh, it's all good and well." It's like, yeah, it comes from a place of grief, but that like people struggle so hard to deal with suffering and loss and grief and all of that that they do silly things or convince themselves of silly things to protect them somehow from death and loss. Like it will come anyways. I mean, that's kind of like it's a very tragic story because even at the end, they lost Noah. Those parents lose Noah to their whole lie that they've created. Their poor boy fell for the whole thing, lost him, and still they decide to carry on with this whole. It's like you're still losing your loved ones. Like there's no real solution here, and I think that's what makes it a very sad and tragic ending. And I so wish people can just get to that ending, like really watch the movie and get there without like noping out. But yeah, I mean, I guess,
every time the
yeah,
elders put
I
on
don't
that
know.
costume now, Zanandi, they're gonna think about Noah. They're gonna think about
Yeah,
what happened. Like they're they're not escaping anything. They've escaped nothing. They still keep their trauma with them in a box. It's like I'm gonna
exactly.
lock it
This,
away, but I'm gonna remember it, but I'm not gonna deal with it. And it's a very unhealthy way of dealing with trauma. And
uh-huh.
I but here's the thing though, you and I, we lean I lean towards kind of emo stuff. I love the emotions in films. I love
Yeah,
what they're doing.
yeah.
And
We
I
like feeling something. I like to feel something. If I don't
yeah,
feel anything, that for me is not a good movie.
and
Because if I watch it, if it's like what? Sorry, looking
oh no
at
no.
art, looking at a painting, and not feeling anything. So what's the point of that? That's bad art, isn't it?
Yes.
So what are we doing here, people? What are we saying here?
Like win, lose or draw, people either hate M Night Shyamalan, love M Night Shyamalan, but you don't leave Lady in the Water going, it was all right. Like you're either going, what the, like,
What?
yeah. You don't leave his films feeling nothing. And I think
100%.
he's an absolute artist, and I think that's why he's my favorite director to talk about. And
Yeah.
watching this movie back in the day, I mean, I remember the trailers. I do. I remember that the trailers set this
I
movie.
luckily avoided it.
Oh, okay.
I luckily did not see the trailers.
It was like, it did make it seem like a horror film. So if you're on a date night
Yeah, full
and
on,
you're
yeah.
on something like that and you're like, oh yeah, let's go watch this new. And you got to remember, '04 was crazy for horror. It was like Rob Zombie, Eli Roth, like
Yeah,
horror
we didn't have
remakes.
elevated horror
Yeah.
yet, and then came Shyamalan with The Village, like arguably the first elevated horror, like mainstream elevated horror, if you will, like of the 21st century.
He just drops that. And I guess if you're looking for six, like, if you're looking for, what's interesting too is, okay, two things. The one great thing about the Sixth Sense, the twist is it makes you sit there and just reframe the entire movie in your head. Like,
Exactly. You want to
oh,
watch it again.
um,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Unbreakable because you're thinking about glass and it's how it's a superhero origin story. Like when you think about Signs, the reveal of the water, everything has a meaning. Those waters are there that led to that. So you reframe it in your head. I guess the biggest problem with The Village is they give the hint away immediately. He's like, I don't even know if I want to do
Yes.
this, but I don't know if you totally reframe the entire movie in your head when you like it's in the modern times and you're like, oh, so they did this and then like that's why they're living it. And you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like I don't think when I heard the twist, I didn't
It's
look
not
back.
that. No. And I
Like,
don't think he went for it. I don't
mm-mm.
think like I mean, I think that's also the problem. Like people think Shyamalan should always do the Sixth Sense. That is what he should do, which is nonsense, which is absolute nonsense. I
he,
mean,
don't get me.
no.
He should make a movie that makes $700 million worldwide and is one of 6 horror films to ever be nominated for Best Picture, and it features one of the greatest all time twists of all time. It's not that. Well, like it sucks because it wasn't as good as The Sixth Sense. Like nothing is. Nothing will be.
Exactly. Nothing will ever be. The Sixth Sense was like this thing that happened that we will never again have because it blew our minds. We've never like had a twist like that before. Like it was like, what? Like nobody saw that coming. And like again, like you say, you had to, okay, I need to watch this all again to see how it makes sense. To like, I mean, that was just, yeah, like this phenomenon. But I
Phenomenon.
mean, yeah, that does is that all you want then? Like
Because
just watch Sixth Sense over and over again then, I guess. I don't know.
yeah,
Like
every time a new Shyamalan movie comes out, watch Sixth Sense, and then just be like, oh, okay, cool. But that
like it's such addict behavior, people. Like
that movie though left the theater audiences on a high because you have that incredible scene with Toni Collette crying in the car. A lot of crying parents in M. Night Shyamalan films. She's crying in the car, and then you had the Bruce Willis reveal, and you just leave the theater going, "Holy mackerel!" I was working in a theater, and I
yeah.
looked at people's faces when they left, and they were like, "What just happened?" So
Yeah.
you leave the theater on a high. With The Village, it's very emotional. It's about love and innocence and like just hope. And why are we
Yeah.
doing this if we don't have that? And this was a crime,
Exactly.
and then it's a
It's a
very
very
like
sincere
yeah.
film. It's probably his most sincerest film. And I think that's also the other thing. Some people think sincerity is a disease or whatever. They stay away from it. That's a you problem. That's go to therapy. Like
and, and I guess with The Village, it's what am I trying to? You got to have a suspension of disbelief, and I try that with all movies. Like I was watching an action movie with somebody the other day, and they're like, "How did that person get over there? That's dumb." I'm like, "That's every action movie ever." Like that's. I get what you're
yeah.
saying, but like that's every. It's like you have to just watch it and like take the logic in accordance to the world that you're watching. So yeah, they paid off
Mm,
someone to move the airplanes. I guarantee you, someone's studying this. Like they're making money to be able to fund this because it's a crazy experiment. And I bet you people would want to know
exactly.
how it goes. Like this is something that could be studied by behavioral psychologists or whoever, sociology, like anybody for decades, hundreds of years. So it would have the funding and the planes don't go over. That's crazy, but I don't know. Maybe you knew
Well,
somebody
they
high up in the
say
government. Yeah, like
exactly. They said that, like they're paying the government, like they literally have ties because, yeah, they were like wealthy white people living in the
yeah,
city
yeah.
before they started losing loved ones to crime. So, yeah, they literally said they paid the government to like keep people out.
And just people are like, that's so stupid. And you're like, but it's not, this isn't our world. This is M. Night Shyamalan's world. Like this is a place with twists, with crying parents. People are trapped a lot in his films. Like there's always trapped people. It's this world. And in this world, it works. Uh, so it's,
Sort of, not really, like
yeah,
sort of,
it
but
sort of works.
but
And
that's again what the movie like it's critical about its own point. Like it's like, yeah, this is how they do it and whatever, but it's also not really doing what they wanted to do.
yeah.
They're still losing kids. We start the movie off with a grieving father. We
Ugh.
end the movie with the grieving mother and father. I mean, we're still losing kids. Like, it just shows again how terrible we are at being a society.
I would burn the world down if my daughter was sick and they're like, no, you can't go get medicine for your daughter. Like
Yeah, no,
I
I'd be
would,
like, screw this.
yeah, I would burn the world down. And so
I
it's,
mean, it's very cultish. Listen, you can
yeah,
also look at it as they're a cult.
they are a
Like,
cult.
exactly. So again, I mean, do people know we actually have cults? Do they? You think they do?
Yeah. It's,
Who
it's a cult.
knows?
No, it is because
It's a cult.
these people, people lose their sight. Like the characters lose their sight. Like characters die. Probably they could have lived, when like if they like Ivy probably could have
Exactly.
like, but they don't let that happen. They don't let anybody do that. And so, yeah, it's a cult. It is a cult.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's gone past a study. Like it's no longer
Yes.
research. But you know what? If I was a researcher and I was like, man, these people went in there avoiding crime and now they're like so in it that they don't even like get medicine to save kids. Like, I don't know. Here's the town. Here is Mr. Brubaker. He makes yada yadas and let's give him this because of this. Like, let's go get it. This is a thing that we make from these herbs. Bring them in here. Then you just pretend to do it and you plop some Advil in someone's mouth. Like, there's ways around that. I guess.
You
But
know,
they never considered that. And yeah, so then we got to consider it to be a cult.
absolutely. It's actually reminding me of, I think, was it the beginning of this year or last year? I have lost all sense of time, people, as did, yeah, most of us. Like where I read that it was this evangelist priest in, I want to say Kenya. He was already like on everyone's radar doing dodgy stuff. And then he convinced his followers to follow him into the woods where they went to live. Like it's not like 3 dozen of them. And then people started dying because they didn't have like any like medical aid. They didn't have any like even like nutrition. And then there were like stuff when they started to investigate, it got really weird because he told them that they should sacrifice their children so that they can live. I mean, and this actually happened like just now. Like it's, so
Mm.
again, that's why I like The Village because it shows a very sad but also a horrific side of us and what we can do, how we can convince ourselves of things and think we're doing the right thing, where actually, no. Poor Noah. Like Adrien Brody's character, Noah, was like heavily criticized in this film. But I mean, I got it because again, it's like these children of these elders who control and terrorize their own village to keep them safe, supposedly. Like these children are all, they're the ones dying. They're the ones who need the medical attention. If Noah had the right medical attention growing up, if he had the right stimulation, it would have been different for him because that's just how it works. You take any kid out of like society, never have them like meet people or like, have a normal life. And yeah, that kid is not, it's going to grow up not being a well-adjusted adult.
Mm.
And I mean, so like all of it makes sense to me. It works because I get what he's trying to do. I get how the parts move together. It's a very simple story. I think people are looking for more to it sometimes, where it's like, no, it's right there. All the clues. I gave you all the clues, Mr. Policeman.
No, they're all there. It really, like, it just,
It's there.
you,
I
I,
do think, though, sometimes people watch things with, it's again comes down to expectations. But like we sometimes say, with a certain lens, through a certain lens. It's like, I know how it is. If I watch a movie by a director that I don't really dig most of his stuff, I'm already going in a little skeptical because I know that he's not really my flavor or whatever. And I think, yeah, the different expectations, even like for people rewatching the movie, because they already were like, I hated this. Like, so, okay, well, okay, so, okay. I mean, it doesn't often happen that you hate something and then watch it and then suddenly love it. Like that is something that doesn't happen often. It happens, but not often.
Not often.
No, not often.
And sometimes we have to do things we want to do so that others know we want to do them.
Right? All the
S-
lines in this movie. I love the
Sorry.
porch
Yeah.
scene, right?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Oh, oh, that's probably my favorite scene is the porch scene. It's beautiful.
Ivy and Lucius
I
are the best.
right? Oh, I ship yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, we ship them so hard, so we feel that emotional like thing with Bryce, when she's like, well, I'm going. Like, this is happening, Dad. I am going.
Yeah.
I need to
What did
save
she?
him
Yeah,
because
like
I
if
love him. And it's like that's what the elders tried to do. They tried to save their people because they love them. And Ivy's like, I'm going to save him because I love him. I mean, screw you and your rules, Dad.
and good old Brendan Gleeson goes with it. So that's nice. He's like, yeah, let her
Yes,
go.
exactly.
Let her
Let her
go.
go.
And like, but that porch scene when he's like, yeah, and yes, I will dance with you on our wedding night. Oh my gosh. Just the two
Oh,
of them. And
oh.
you know what I like about him is
So
like he's not standing there because she's helpless. Like he's just that's how he is. Like he it doesn't matter. Like with Megan, Megan can take care of herself, but if I gotta like stay up to watch our porch, I'm doing it. There's
exactly.
so it's
Exactly.
not like you can't do this. It's more of just like, no, I instinctively want to protect you. And it's not because you can't protect yourself, but like I want to protect you too. Double protection. So like I like that he's that way, and I like that he doesn't talk. And like his character really did register for me a lot. And like the whole Judy Greer scene where she proposes to him and then she's just crying.
Yeah.
But it it's a really, and you know what's interesting, what I've noticed about his career. So he started Sixth Sense, and that movie was like a super crowd pleaser. And then he did Unbreakable, which he said is 60% art, 40% superhero film. Then he wanted to course correct. And so he wrote a really more optimistic film, Signs, that made $400 million worldwide. Then he goes and makes The Village, which is quite dour. It has its humor, but it's more earnest and it's more about love and it's more about it's not
Being
as
there for each other and
it's
stuff.
not as like
Yeah, like
mainstream as Signs. So I kind of like that he makes one for the studio, makes one for himself, makes one for the studio, makes one for himself. Like
exactly.
I like that he did that. And I think, do you know where I think he went wrong a little bit? Like not wrong because I love all of his movies and we've talked about most of them, but like he followed this up with Lady in the Water. And like I like it, but you watch it and you're like, "Oh, who'd you make this for?" You go like, "Who'd you make
Yeah.
this for, M Night?" Like you're dogging on
Yeah.
movie critics, you kill a movie critic, you like it was very much so an M Night movie.
Yes, yes.
And then I think he went and made The Happening because he wanted to sort of get back his kind of audience. So he makes this R-rated bonkers murder fest. And then, but I also think he kept it really earnest. Like it's wildly earnest, that movie. And the dialogue with, like, I think Wahlberg and Deschanel are fine, but he didn't combine the
Ooh,
elements. Yeah, like
ooh,
just no. Like
ooh.
I love when he goes,
Uh,
no. Like just but yeah, you watch it and you're just kind of going, okay, so you wanted to get the cred back, but you so he kind of combined elements. So I think, but then he comes back with The Visit for $5 million after like a string of huge duds, and then he wins back the audience because it's fun. And
oh,
so
yes, The Visit is so fun. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
and it's just it's like he does this interesting thing where he's like fun, tough, fun. Like I love Knock at the Cabin, but geez Louise, it didn't make as much money. Or Beach, like I like those. It's about parents, uh, like it's really, both of them are really interesting because it's about parents like trying to like, the world's going to hell and they're just trying to like look after their kids and move forward, and they're
Yeah, I actually saw
very
someone say it on Twitter
like
today. Yeah,
they're
like it
like
was cool.
yeah, Brandon
Yeah.
Strauss sing. I was gonna give him props. I was gonna look up his,
Yes.
and like,
Yes.
but the problem is they don't have like that, like it's a pharmaceutical company and it's the end of the world. They don't have the aha moment. They don't have the signs moments of like the horror. They don't have the fun of The Visit. And I adore them, but they just didn't do as well. So that's why I think he's back with Trap now, and it looks fun. Like he's back with a PG-13 film. Dude's trapped. everyone's trapped in his movies. And and I think that he's he's back kind of having fun, and I think that's why it's going to be a successful film. So it's kind of interesting watching his career and how he navigates sort of one for him, one for the audience, and like how he's blended those and how he's moved around them. But I think The Village was very much so a him story. I mean, Roger Deakins said the shots were the shots. Like they shot it in 45 days. And they did all that during huge snows and blizzards and rainstorms, so they had a lot of downtime.
Mhm.
So he told the actors where to stand, he told them what to do, and then he shot it. So it's very much so a him film, but the actors give great roles. It's beautiful, and it actually has a good message. But I think people didn't like it because it's not, I don't know, is it not fun? Like it's like, the six.
Yeah, I think maybe that. And also, it was 2004 when,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, the movies
yeah,
that we
yeah, yeah.
watch now, like film literacy has grown so much, in the 21st century. So, yeah, I guess I think that's also got a lot to do with it. But also, Mark, I don't know. Some people just don't like it, and that's fine. That's
Yeah.
okay. But I love it, and you love it because we have good taste in movies.
And I, you know what? People don't have to love The Village. I think maybe a lot of Shyamalan's dialogue does turn people off, but I like it. Like I like watching these auteurs. Like I like watching people
Yes,
who, like, I've never
same.
like I when you watch a Michael Bay film, you feel the Michael Bayism of it. But I've always appreciated that. Like I'm just like this, for better or worse, this is a Michael Bay movie. And I think I like those films because, or M. Night Shyamalan, because it's them. And he's out there taking swings. And there's so much earnestness in an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and the actors trust him so much. Like you watch Knock at the
Yes,
Cabin,
that's clear.
like
Yes.
Dave Bautista, Jonathan Groff, like you watch them and they are 100% in on Shyamalan. Like look at Old. All the actors are in. Like Vicky Creep's incredible. I love her. Gail Garcia Bernal, like, geez Louise. Like, but they're giving. So there's something about M. Night Shyamalan where actors give. Like, look at Mark Wahlberg in The Happening. Like
Yeah.
he put himself
Yeah.
out there. That's why I can't hate The Happening, is because of how much he put himself out there. So I love that actors do that for M. Night Shyamalan. They really do leave it out there on the field for him. And
Yeah.
and like all the talk about him being a hack or one trick pony, I don't think that's true when you can get the actors of this caliber doing what they're doing for him and the career that he's had. So it's, I
I
don't
mean,
there's
one chick pony my ass. Like, I mean, we talk about like we talk about the dialogue, like, and how people criticize his dialogue. But go watch every movie and listen. Like every single movie, the characters are like the dialogue is literally a style that he uses, and every film has a different dialogue style. Like in The Village, we've got this passive like voice. Why? Because the villagers are pacified by this like cultish, freaking like oppressive situation that's happening there. In The Happening, like Zoe Deschanel sounds very strange, but I mean, she plays a very weird character.
yeah,
Like, like stuff's happening. She's a normie in a sense. Like it's very normie vibe, like I mean, it's all got the styles. The Sixth Sense is like this brooding, like kind of what's behind the veil type of, and the dialogue reflects that. Glass, the dialogue reflects that. It sounds like a superhero movie dialogue. Like, I mean, like, oh, Mark, it's yeah. Sometimes it really comes down to, well, if you think you can do it better, then you go write that bloody movie.
exactly. And I mean, the line in The Village, I don't think of what might happen, only what must be done. Like I love that line. That's a good line. Like this is what needs to be done and I'm going to do it. I'm not going to think about what might happen. Like I love that line from him. And I also like that M. Night loves broken people. When you look at Sixth Sense, he's dead. But I mean, Cole, like he's dealing with all these issues. And Unbreakable, Bruce Willis's character is living in a lie. He's lied to his wife. He didn't play football. He faked an injury because she didn't want him playing football. And he should have just told the truth from the beginning, but he lied and he's living this like really broken existence that isn't good for his wife or him or anybody, then you like, I mean,
Yes.
Mr. Glass, Sam Jackson, Elijah Price is broken all the time in it because of his
Yeah,
bones.
it's literally
In
like,
Signs,
yeah,
we have a widower. In The Village, we have widowers and people who are deeply hurt. Lady in the Water, there's
exactly.
people who had who lost ones killed, like loved ones killed. Like it's, I mean, look at Split. That's the only reason why Anya Taylor-Joy's character lives, because she's the broken. It's a
Exactly.
like Catherine Hahn in The Visit. Like she's this single mom doing the best she can, and like there's a scene where she breaks down crying, and you know, in Magic Beach, aka Old, the parents are divorcing, and Knock at the Cabin, they have their issues with their parents, and you know, you have these good people who were summoned by these, you know, the four horsemen of the pocket. Like he loves broken people, and
Yeah.
I like that that theme is there, and I like that he tackles it in so many different ways. And this is weird, but I read a quote from Ron Howard, a director I really admire, but he worked in TV for a long time, and he said, you know, I worked on TV, and 24 episodes a season, maybe 3 were really good, and then he goes, 3 were really bad, and the rest were good. And so when he started directing, he's like, I could probably direct forever if I make some really good ones, some good ones, and then just a couple really bad ones. He's like, I can keep making films for a really long time if I just
Yeah.
look at it like baseball. I feel like M. Night Shyamalan is like just swinging away every time. Like
Yeah,
uh,
absolutely. He knows what he's doing and what he wants to do. Like he understands he's got a vision and he banks on it. Like he
mhm.
believes in himself, which good for you. Like and also thank you because we enjoy it. We enjoy seeing him execute his vision. Like it's not always the best, it's not always like amazing, but oh gosh, it's almost always enjoyable
Have you
for
ever
us
watched an M.
because we're
Night
fans.
movie and felt blah? Like you and I have watched some movies before where we just felt like
No.
this is, you watch it and you go, this does nothing for me. His movies, like when I watch The Happening, I'm like, this is crazy. Like this
Yeah,
is
there are
nuts.
moments.
Like you know,
Exactly.
watching Magic Beach when the bones are exploding of that lady and like the tumor and the kids, you're just going, geez Louise. You know, Knock at the Cabin, the emotion that they get out of it, and just the performances, and Unbreakable. You watch Unbreakable now, it's one of the most gorgeous films I've seen. It's probably one of the most gorgeous films since 2000. It looks perfect. Glass. I was watching Glass again. I almost started crying. Like and
Yeah.
M. Night didn't give people what they wanted with Glass. He didn't give them a big
No, he didn't.
superhero smack them up. And he it's really interesting. He's like, I'm gonna do what I want, but I do
Yeah.
know enough to make hits to make audiences like it. So I'm never like I know he made another Earth or After Earth and Airbender. I don't want to talk about those movies are just, I don't want to talk about them. But
Yeah, we don't talk about
yeah, we don't
those.
talk. You know, the movies we don't talk of. They're like the creatures
Yes.
movie.
Those we do not speak
Yeah,
of.
those we
Yeah.
do. Oh man, I should have written that in my Rotten Tomatoes thing. But I didn't. Crap. But that's a good line. But it's, I don't know. I like that he like you said, he banks on himself. He knows what he wants, and actors
And
keep
he's
working with him.
subversive.
Yeah.
Mark, he's subversive. He's subversive. Like, I mean, while you were talking now, that's what I realized. Like, I mean, all these things. He doesn't give you the big smackdown at the end of his like superhero trilogy movie. He doesn't like give you the ooh twist like you saw it once before. No, he's always going to subvert, which I love that. I mean, people are always trying to like say, give me something original, give me something new, and then people
He,
do, and it's like
it
it's not
sucks.
the Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it's so
shut
annoying.
up! Shut
Stop.
up!
Like, there are all these people that are like, oh, we just need more 20 to 40 million dollar movies that are originals, and then they come out and then they tank or they hate them.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
like, yeah,
I'm like, oh
this is a
no,
really
it's
random
just
example, but Land of Bad came out this year. It's a $20 million budgeted action film. Russell Crowe's incredible in it. But like it didn't do well in theaters. And but then everyone goes, we need more movies like Land of Bad. I'm like, yeah, ones that nobody goes and watch, and then it goes on Netflix and it hits #1 for 2 weeks. But it's
yeah,
always a bummer when like people are, we need more original IP. The horror genre is this and this and this. And then, you know, he'll adapt a book. I know he's Knock at the Cabin, he adapted, but he'll make an original film and people complain about it. It's
yeah, exactly.
uh, it's an odd
Yeah.
It's
I
an
mean, you
oh,
don't have to like something to still support like, original movies done well with a lot of effort put into it. I mean, like it's not like he's, I don't know, a non-talented rich boy who's just taking daddy's money and making shitty movies. No.
he
But
le-
anyway.
he leased I think he sold his 125-acre farm to raise money for, or he took out a loan on it to make the visit. Like he really is betting on himself now, and
Yeah.
and it's just with this movie. I know we got off track with it, but I I think Bryce Dallas Howard's incredible. I love Joaquin
Oh,
Phoenix.
it's my favorite role of
The
her. It's my
the
favorite one.
the noiseless stabbing scene is crazy. Uh,
Yeah.
it's and you have Roger Deakins making it, and they built the sets, and it feels real, and then they shot it in Pennsylvania where he shoots most of his films, and
And it
I
looks
like
great. I mean, that shot of Noah where he falls into the hole. I mean, that final shot of Noah, like, I mean, that looks like an art piece. Like, I would
mhm.
hang that up against my wall. Like, it's so beautifully filmed. Like, yeah.
I guess the problem with this though is if you're a teenager and you go to watch on Sixth Sense, you can really still enjoy it because there are some legitimate scares in it, and then the twist is big, and it's kind of a cultural thing, so you go see it. But I guess if you're a kid, a teenager, and you go with three people, six teenagers go to see this movie, boys and girls, they think it's a horror film, then they watch The Village. I guess they're not going to be satisfied with it. Maybe they might 10 years later, but I guess
Yeah.
it's just the risk you run when you're making a movie like this. And honestly, though, if I'm marketing this movie, Zanandi, like, how do you market this? Like, a romance? Is it what the next M. Night Shyamalan film? What? How do you market this movie to make people not complain about being misled?
I don't know.
That'd be funny if you had like an entire answer and you're like, well, Mark, I thought about this, and this is
I
what
really
I
thought about
think.
it.
But
I mean, Mark, I still haven't seen the trailer for The
oh,
Village.
oh
I just,
gosh.
why? I don't need to. Like, I missed it, thank God. But well, I mean, at the same time, I saw The Sixth Sense. I'm not going to think, and that wasn't like scary horror vibes for me. So I don't know why people would go into it expecting to be scared. I mean, was The Sixth Sense scary for you? It wasn't scary for me, but ghosts aren't scary for me. So maybe
Mm,
that's also just a thing. So again, I don't have that expectations. I didn't have it back then either, because why would I think he's now going to do the scariest movie? I just saw The Sixth Sense. Like it was
yeah,
a good movie. It wasn't scary to me though. So again, it's people's, you know what, Mark? It really comes down to how people interpret things. We all interpret things differently. And I'm sorry, but sometimes people don't interpret things correctly. It's just that happens. It
yeah.
happens to all of us sometimes. Sometimes we interpret things incorrectly. That happens. And I think with a lot of the movies that we talk about, like, these things that come up, I think it's just a difference in interpretation.
I agree. It really is a difference in interpretation because, but I guess I'm okay. So here's the marketing. Let me prep you on this because I know a lot of people who do not like being hoodwinked with the marketing. So, like the trailer,
I
it
love it actually. Sorry,
like
just sidebar. I kind of like I mean with Drive. Drive was funny because I mean the trailer was one thing. And then I watched the movie and I'm like, this is even better.
yeah. This summer, Ryan Gosling's gonna fall in love with Carrie Mulligan. It's a good
So
time. Drive on down
like
to the theater to watch Drive. You're like, oh no. But so it started with the William Hurt monologue about the creatures in the woods. Like, I fear our days of peace are over. And so the whole trailers, they really do be like, the truce is ending. So you're like, oh crap, these villagers are about to be at like assault on precinct 13 by these monsters. And there was other TV spots where like a little kid read it, like there's a creepy child reading it, and on Amazon Prime they're like, an oppressive evil inhabits the forbidden forest. So Like there's no
But
oppressive
it's cool.
evil.
It's the lore. It's the
Yeah.
lore. They use the lore as marketing. I think that's cool.
I mean, what else are you gonna do? Like depressed parents start a village and like depress their kids? Like you can't
Yeah,
say that.
no, that's the reveal.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
that's the whole.
But
I don't know.
but I guess
I
that's
mean,
where M Night.
yeah.
I guess that's where you got to think about, because his next film wasn't with Disney after this one. I think when I have a question. When you're a filmmaker and you make a movie with a $50 million budget, should you only be thinking about you? Now, what I mean is, you shouldn't just be like, okay, we're going to corporate this into oblivion. But I guess you're like, I'm taking people's money to make my movie. But I think you also have to think. So get this. He made Unbreakable, and he was in a restaurant, and he was eating, and he looked at everybody in the restaurant. He said a lot of people just looked depressed and down. He's like, some of these people might have went and watched Unbreakable, and it's my favorite superhero film. But he said, they when they watched Unbreakable, it's so artistic and dour that didn't pump up their day, that didn't load them with optimism. So then he
Yeah.
made Signs about, good jumps, good scares, a man coming to grips with the loss of his wife, finding strength,
And
his
the
kids,
aliens
and
actually being defeated. Yeah.
so you watch that, and like Unbreakable ends with like Sam Jackson being like, "I got you." So he wanted the people in that restaurant to be happy and like feel pumped up. And I was in a theater. I was working in a theater when it came out. People jumped all over the place. That was a very crowd pleasing film. So I think with The Village, he kind of didn't learn the lessons he did with Signs in regards to. I mean, this movie still made $257 million because it's awesome. But I do think the fault he might have made is just I. What was the fault that he made?
Yeah, I'm like, what is the end of the sentence, Mark?
Okay, I'm getting there, but I just want to I think this movie is much more emotional and earnest, and it really requires viewers to suspend their disbelief and live in it. Whereas I think Sixth Sense and Signs, you could just go and have a blast with an audience. With The Village, you're not having that blast of, you're not having the jump scares, you're not seeing the alien walking through the background, Cole's not being trapped by angry ghosts, you're not having those giant reveals or the crowd pleasing ending, or as many touches of humor that Signs has. There's humor in this, but I just think that the momentum from Signs, and then just his idea to like really ground this and make it such an earnest film, I think people rebelled against it a little bit. It's
I mean, listen, Science is a blockbuster. The Village
yeah,
isn't a blockbuster.
no.
So,
I guess he
you
doesn't
know,
owe it to audiences to make blockbusters.
I don't
But
want to watch just blockbusters. Do
yeah,
you
that's
just want to watch blockbusters?
no, I'm thinking about, because this movie really set, like when Lady in the Water came out, it's like his lowest grossing film. And then The
Yeah,
Happening came out, people started laughing in the theater. When the trailer for Devil played, the people in the theater laughed when they saw M. Night Shyamalan's name. And it's really unfair, and I hated it. I think other directors have made many worse movies and they didn't get their names laughed at. But
exactly.
it's just, I mean, he had the last laugh because he's just crushing it right now. But it started off this chain of like anti M Night, and I don't think that's fair. But I also think this movie was very personal to him, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to pursue a thought here, Zanandi, and I'm going to leave this all in because maybe people are screaming at the thing. But I just think it's interesting that after he knows how to make a blockbuster, he does, and then sometimes he just goes, "No, I'm going to make my film." And is there self-destructiveness in that? Like, because he did hard, he
I
has,
don't think so because it did well, and that
yeah,
was a little film.
yeah,
So no, I mean, listen, yeah, not everything is going to always work. Not everyone is always going to like your things, but I mean, The Village did well at the box office, and there are people who do like it. Most of us aren't like Rotten Tomato critics, but
mm,
so, like we'll give it a higher score than 44%. But I mean, there are people who like it, and great stuff. Like The Village does have a following. I just had an article published that came out for Art Critic And like, yeah, some of the responses was really cool. Like people like, yeah, I love this movie too. And like agrees, like, with points that I made and stuff. And like, okay, great. I'm so happy to hear there are other people. And it's not just me that I'm like delusional. Now other people also think, yeah, it's good because of this and this and this. So I mean, that's great. I'm like, yeah. I wouldn't say it's his worst movie. It's not his worst
No,
movie.
no, no. It's gorgeous.
So yeah, I feel like people just need to lay off the movie more. Like if you don't like it, fine, but shush.
What is
At
about his
the same time,
movies
shush.
that causes the backlash? Because
I mean, listen, there was a big racial
yeah.
shit show about him too. Let's
How
use
his
the
last
R
name
word
was,
here.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I mean, it was a very racist thing. And listen, I mean, here in South Africa, there wasn't an M. Night backlash. It was an American thing. So I don't know, Mark, you tell me.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's so many. I don't even want to like say the way that people were pronouncing his last name. It was just a very odd,
Exactly.
really aggressive hatred towards this guy. It's just like but yeah, I think sometimes, there will never be a backlash against Ron Howard because he goes and makes so many different films. But I think when you're like an auteur and you take giant swings and you're also M. Night Shyamalan and there is the racial element involved, like I think
Yeah,
some
person of color.
and
Yeah,
like
exactly.
and like, look at Wes Anderson. A lot of people are like, that guy sucks. He sucks. He makes stupid. He's just makes Wes Anderson movies. Like you're like, no, come on. Like he's. I don't know. I've just noticed a backlash towards auteurs. Like Terrence Malick was one of the best filmmakers
Oh
on the planet,
yeah.
and then he makes
Yeah,
like To the Wonder, and everyone's like, he sucks. And you're like, no, what? He doesn't suck.
yeah.
And then now people just don't like his movies, and you're just thinking to yourself, what happened here? But I think sometimes when these people who he was like M Night was like almost infallible immediately. Like he was like everyone like guess he's the next Spielberg. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard when he made Sixth Sense. Like Spielberg wasn't even the next Spielberg after his first movie, or because this is his second movie. He also did Wide Awake, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like this,
Yeah.
like so. I think he made one of the greatest films of all time, and then everyone's like, all of his movies aren't as good as this, and then they started going after his last name. It was just an ugly time, and
It
I was
was. It really was.
I don't know if I told you this, but like on MFF, I like many years ago, probably 9, 10 years ago, before The Visit came out, I wrote an article and I was like, this guy's incredible and he's great, but I'd love to see him go back to get away from Last Airbender, get away from Another Earth, and just make like a $5 to $10 million budgeted film. And then he did that, and now he's back.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's why I love him. Like this guy should be studied. Like
Yes.
everyone wrote him off. I'm telling you, everyone laughed when they saw that name. And then he makes The Visit,
Mhm.
and then Split makes 300 million, and then Glass makes 260 million. Old, and I love Old, Knock at the Cabin. They made like Old made 90 million in 2021. That's good. And then like, Knock at the Cabin's R-rated and really heavy, but it still made 60, 70 million. So it's like this guy came back like a phoenix after being branded the next Spielberg, and he still keeps making his movies. Like it's just really something that I admire, and I'm very happy to be living in a time where he's back and blowing up, because I've always felt real defensive of him. I've always felt like this guy rocks.
Same.
The Village rocks. And
Absolutely same. Exactly. We are defensive when it comes to Shyamalan because he's really, yeah, I mean, yeah, like knocked back by audiences and critics and just people being rotten. But like, I mean, yeah, he just keeps on doing his thing. He just comes back every time and like just keeps on doing it. I mean, awesome.
okay,
Yay. Because I absolutely believe that he should be studied. I mean, what a director, what a filmmaker, honestly. I mean, he could easily have been like, oh, okay, people hate me. Maybe I should just produce, stay in the background, whatever. And it's just like, no, no. But I mean, he does have supporters. We're not like the only two people in the world,
yeah,
or the
yeah.
four of us, the only four people in the world. I'm
Uh,
just happy that we still get to see it's 2024 and we're getting a brand new M. Night Shyamalan film starring Josh freaking Hartnett. Like,
yeah.
I pinch myself. Is this even happening? Oh, I'm so excited.
And okay, so I want to ask you a quick question. I want to go back to what I was talking about with The Village and my meandering. But have you watched Babylon by Damien Chazelle?
Not yet. I still
Okay,
need to get around to Babylon.
so it's like a 3 hour, $80 million budgeted film about the silent areas transition into sound.
Yes.
And I watch it and I enjoy it, but I'm like, dude, you took $80 million to make a 3 hour period piece about the transition from silent films to sound. Like, I was like, is that responsible? Or you watch, Under the Silver Lake after it follows. Like, I felt like the guy followed up this tremendous film with this kind of crazy detective noir of Under the Silver Lake that turned off many people. It's kind of interesting sometimes how people, they'll get maybe like a blank check film, or they'll get some success, and then they go and they make a film that, as much as I love Babylon, it's 80 million, Zanandi. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who was this for? Who were you making this for? And I don't think The Village is nearly as bad, but I always like watching directors who are on a giant hit streak, and then they go and they make, after Scorsese made The King of Comedy, he was worried about getting his next movie off the ground because people are like, does this guy still
Yeah.
have it? But at the time, people are like, what is this? So maybe M. Night learned from that, but it still made 257 million. So it's an odd thing that I'm bringing up because this is a success. But do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Where there's these directors who you're kind of wondering, like, who is this for? So it's kind of, The Village was
Hey,
obviously for us, but I just find it
yeah.
interesting when directors do that. I don't know if you have any. Do you know what I'm talking about? When they just go and they make something
I
absurdly,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't often actually ask that question about a film unless I think it's really, really shitty.
Ha!
Um, which doesn't happen often. I don't watch a lot of shitty movies. I mean, it happens, obviously, but I'm also thinking I'm everyone knows I'm a huge Mike Flanagan fan, but I didn't enjoy Midnight Mass that much. But you
No.
know what? He said that that was a very personal thing that he wrote and did. So I get that he did that very much for himself at the end of the day. And that's fine. That's okay. Because if you're the kind of director or writer or auteur or whatever, that can write these amazing things for people that touches them, that like hits hard, The Sixth Sense, The Village, the whatnot. When you then write something that doesn't, that's just your little thing, that's fine. Like, that's okay. If you're just constantly doing that, then I don't have time for you because that's just like masturbation then. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not doing it for anybody other than yourself. But I feel like, yeah, Flanagan, like Shyamalan, the big great directors, they don't do that. It's they give us enough. Like, I mean, are we really so greedy to demand that every movie cater to me, please?
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
know,
And I like what you said about the masturbatory masturbation like type of
yeah, I
film.
always feel like that with writers, with artists in general, when it's that kind of you can see they're not doing this for you or for anyone else. It's just them getting off. Like,
And
no,
I love
then
Lady in
I'm
the
not going to
Water.
pay for your art. Then,
Like, I
sorry.
love
Yeah.
Lady in the Water, but that might be M. Night's most that type of film. And I love it. And I think it works as a fairy tale, but he kills
Yes.
movie critics in it. And he plays the greatest writer of all time. And you're kind of like, whoa, M. Night. Like, I like this movie. And we covered it on the podcast and I adore it. But watching, I was like, this is a little but what's the word am I trying to get?
Masturbatory. Is
Yeah,
that
there
how
it
you
is.
say
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. And
Masturbatory. Yeah.
I don't think The Village is that. I think The Village is wildly earnest, and I
Yes.
don't quite
Absolutely.
think it's in the Lady in the Water territory.
No, no,
No.
definitely not. It's definitely like he came up with this great idea that he wanted to like, put into like an allegory and show it, because he clearly wanted to, but it wasn't, no, a masturbatory like situation, like say Lady in the Water,
And
probably.
his kids were young when he made this movie, and I bet you he was thinking about keeping them safe. Like, I bet you he was thinking
Exactly.
about me as
A
a
lot of his
parent.
movies
And
is about the parents and the kids, like you said. It's
yeah.
absolutely.
And I think he puts himself in it. So I think Signs, his kids were that age, and I think with that, maybe they were getting older for The Village and experience the world more, and he thought about protecting them. So I think that I think that he does change with the ages of his daughters. Like in old, the kids are becoming older. Knock at the cabin, like the world, like I really do think that he even the happening is about keeping like an adopted family safe
Yeah, the
and like
visit.
yeah, and
Like
yeah,
imagine sending your kids to grandma and grandpa, and then it's not grandma and grandpa, it's to freaking serial
uh
killer nuts. I
and
mean, worst nightmare for a parent.
and I think he gets these ideas, and I think that he makes these films exploring those topics. And I don't I just I guess you and I must I kind of like that we have two totally different kind of experiences with M Night fandom, because it really did turn with The Village in '04. Even
I
though
mean,
that
I
this
remember
Yeah,
that.
even
I
though the
remember the
movie was
things
a
coming
hit,
out.
like this movie was a
Yeah.
hit, right? But it opened the door, and I always hate when that door gets opened. I really
Yeah.
do. And like
Yeah.
I've sensed it with multiple directors where the door gets cracked in just a little bit. I'm like, oh no, like there's gonna be haters soon. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that really kicked off with The Village. And so maybe that's why I feel protective of it. Maybe that's why I wanted to explore like what made Americans so angry about this. And it not every American, right? But I do think if you go back to 2004 and you read articles about this, it's even the head of the studio
That's the
said that
thing.
the head of the studio said that he lied to audiences, like who made this movie. So maybe I should have prefaced all that to you beforehand, before getting into that long speech.
Yeah,
But
because now, I mean, yeah, like, no, I mean, I didn't know that.
yeah, and that's not how the MFF podcast works, Zanandi. I talk about things and then an hour later I'm like, oh hey, that worked. Um, yeah,
Listen, we keep it loose. We keep
yeah,
it
we do.
loose.
But I just think it's really interesting, and I just think watching that door get kicked open on this movie specifically, a movie about innocence, and a lot of people did feel cheated, but I I didn't. I remember watching this in
No.
that scene where they like I remember like not like falling in love with Bryce Dallas Howard, but just being like, geez Louise, like this girl's awesome. And
Oh, so
like
good.
Lucius is
So
great,
good.
and like William Hurt and Sigourney Weaver with the whole touching thing, and just sort of
Yes. Oh,
like the whole movie worked for me. And then when the guy is just really nice and he takes the medicine and gives it to her and she says thank you for being so nice, and I don't know. This movie has always worked for me, and I was always able to roll with the revelations or twists. It, it just bums me out. But you know what's interesting? Like I don't have to be defensive anymore because this movie was a hit, and now he's just making hits, and his family's making movies. So it's like he won. But this does bring me back to a time when I just I still remember it vividly. And so I don't know why I've always felt a kinship with M. Night. Maybe it's just his earnestness and his crying parents and the depression and his adherence to just
I think that's it, Mark. I think
yeah,
that's it. I think
yeah.
that's why we just feel that like, yeah, we get him. He gets us. Like, yeah.
And he swings. He swings. This dude
He
swings.
does. I mean, he's got it takes guts to do that, man. Like it's easy to play safe. How very, very boring, you know? Yeah, Shyamalan is anything but boring.
And with the exception of Lady in the Water, a lot of his movies haven't been masturbatory.
Yeah.
Lady in the Water is definitely
There we
that.
go. There
Like
we go. Yes, yes,
I'd
yes.
be like, I like it, and I was able to roll with it. But yeah, yeah, come on, MJ. Hey, well, hey, I want to do something. I love 2004 movies, like 2004.
Okay.
So 1994, 99, and 2004 are probably like the years I have the most fond memories of movies because I I was in college at the time. I was working as a bouncer. I had money in my pocket. There's an indie theater near my house in '04 that I absolutely loved. And I would just go to the movies a lot in 2004. Like it was just a great year for
So
movies for me. So you want to do a 2004 draft?
we can do it. I quickly Googled the year,
Because
so
I didn't tell you in advance.
let's go. Oh, that's fine. I'm used to you now with your little surprises and so on and so forth.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised at my surprises. So it's
Amazing. Never a dull moment with you, Mark. Never. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Oh,
like
that's an interesting year. You're right. Huh.
And like a
Uh,
lot of movies were crazy, like Harry Potter 3. I didn't see that coming. Like I didn't see how gnarly that movie was going to be or visually.
right?
Um,
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
and
It was actually just what the franchise needed at that point, was a director to come in and just give it that grit. Yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban was great. It
and
worked.
like Spider-Man 4 was one of the best superhero films I
Mean
ever seen.
Girls.
Oh,
I'm
Mean Girls.
obviously gonna go with one of the most classic films of that year is Mean Girls.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I love it. I'm gonna take The Life Aquatic because that was like my movie in
Uh,
'04.
I know you love it. Corey also loves it. Like, yeah, one of his favorite Anderson movies.
I love it so much.
Um, I liked Man on Fire. I know
Oh
that's
yeah.
also a bit of a controversial one. A lot of people didn't like it. I dug it. So
People are
I'm gonna go with
crazy.
Man. People
All
are
right.
crazy.
Man on
Crazy
Fire.
bear.
So what I'm gonna
Man
take
on
Ocean's
Fire.
12 then because a lot of people think that movie sucks. And I love
There
that
we
movie.
go.
I love
Hell
Ocean's
yeah.
12. I almost got that shark tattoo. Truly. I
Oh,
almost went and got, yeah,
really?
on Rusty's forearm in the beginning. I almost went that and got that tattoo.
Yes.
I was like
Oh,
one
that's so
Coors Light
cool.
away from getting it.
Oh, you should have.
Hmm.
Ooh, Hell's Moving Castle. Wow, I'll take that.
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah, what an interesting year.
I'm gonna take Collateral
Huh.
because I love that movie an incredible amount.
I want to watch Collateral again. It's been a minute. I actually think I haven't seen it yet since it came out. Like, oh yeah. I have to rewatch it because I remember enjoying it.
Yeah, it's
It was a good time. It was a good time.
Tom Cruise is excellent in it. And Jamie Foxx.
Ooh, Closer. Oh, what a movie.
Oh,
What a movie. I'm gonna go with Closer.
that one. Remember we talked about that being like a date movie that you should not go to.
Yep, not a first date movie unless, yeah, that's just the vibe.
Yeah, I remember watching it and just being like, geez, Louise, this is
Listen, I was not okay for like the rest of the day. I just kind of like nobody talked to me. I'm processing. What the hell did I just watch? Like I'm feeling things. Like it's been so good. Oh, so well acted. Yeah, I did Closer. It's a good movie.
I'm not gonna pick it, but I watched Blade Trinity, and in 2004 I weighed 250 pounds, and I was strong. I could bench 350, like press 185 pounds, but I hurt my knee, had to have surgery, and I was like, I gotta lose weight. And so I watched Blade Trinity. I'm like, man, Reynolds is looking good. So I found his diet and I followed it, and I lost 50 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So Blade
That's a cool
Trinity, yeah,
story.
Blade
You
Trinity
should
helped me lose 50 pounds.
you should I mean, maybe you have, but you should pitch that as an article for someone.
Like the Ryan Reynolds
I,
trainer. Yeah,
I
but yeah,
lost, yeah,
I was
yeah.
playing basketball and my knee was bad. Then I had to have surgery, and
Oh,
I was
epic.
athletic and I lifted all the time, and it was too much weight, and so I was like, I need to lose it. So I did. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a movie I watched I went to my brother's Air Force graduation in 2004, and I went to Houston, and I just had some time off, and so I went to a movie in a packed Houston theater, one of the most packed theaters I've ever been in, and I watched Dawn of
Yeah.
the Dead 2004 in it. And we're talking the crowd went insane,
Oh my
insane.
gosh.
And it was like one of the best ever experiences I've ever had in a theater. So I'm going to take that.
Dude, yeah, I'm so jealous. I wish I saw that in the theater actually, because oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
can
was,
imagine that was like something. Crowd going well. Oh my gosh.
people lost their minds.
Yeah, no, I can believe that. Okay, how many do I still need to pick here? Where
One.
am I now? Just one.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna go for also a movie that people didn't seem to like, but I love it. And I can also say that I have the books. So I read the books and I still liked what they did with this movie. And that's a series of unfortunate events.
Ah,
I love it. Love it.
I mean, the
Love
amount of
it.
money they spent, it looks great.
It looks fantastic. That's actually it's become, since it came out 20 freaking years ago, like, I mean, it's become such a comfort watch for me. Like, I can just put that on. It's beautiful to look at. It's got the acting is so fun. Like, I mean, Jim Carrey's just having a time with that character, and he did it so well. Like, I mean, everyone in it, really. Yeah, it worked for me. And like I said, I read the book, so I wasn't disappointed with the adaptation at all. I love it. I actually wish we had more. But nah, people didn't like it.
Jim Carrey wasn't the hottest in
Just ruin
'04.
it for all of us.
Yeah. I remember people weren't like people. people were excited, but Jim Carrey wasn't. He wasn't like on the heater streak, and so there was just
But he
kind
was
of
so
so
good in
good.
it.
Yeah, no, I
So
agree.
good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, we left out
anyway,
Garden State. Yeah, we already
dude,
talked
there's a
about it.
lot.
Yeah.
Saved. Like it's actually some fun movies. But yeah.
Before sunset, I went and watched that, and I immediately went and bought the movie poster. So that was cool.
Cool.
I have that on my wall.
Nice.
I'm telling you, those like
Nice.
sensitive movies in '04 and '03 and '05 are just not Euro trip kind of movies or American Pie movies. They really they really hit home with me in those years. Like
Yeah,
that's I think
exactly.
you're looking for something, and maybe that's why I like The Village so much too, because
Yes, we were
like
looking for that. We were looking for something different, not just the same old slapstick comedy stuff.
okay,
Like,
I have a weird one for you. You're gonna like this. Do you want to know what it is?
give me, give me.
The Notebook.
Oh wow. Okay, you're going there. Okay.
Because
But I mean, an iconic classic.
I saw it in a
And then,
theater and like a packed theater. And I was getting pretty emotional at the end because like Gosling and McAdams just have like fire
dude,
chemistry, like this fire chemistry. But like everybody in the theater was crying. Not everybody. Like
dude,
okay, around me in the rows, it was probably 80% women. And then like I went to every movie. So my brother didn't want to go. So I went with my brother's girlfriend and her friends. And so I'm watching that and I was getting kind of emotional, but then I started hearing multiple people crying. Like we're
yep.
not just three, right? Not five,